Hello everybody and welcome back to Cage Watch. My name is Lex and I realized that I haven't been introducing myself, so I will be doing better about that. Please disregard any sounds that you may hear in the background today, by the way. It's lawn care day and they seem louder than ever, and this is a re-record, so we're all over the place right now, but thank you for joining me here anyways. Today we're going to be talking about Racing with the Moon, starring Nicolas Cage and Sean Penn, directed by Richard Benjamin. This movie centers around two best friends, Hopper and Nicky. I bet you can guess which one Nick plays. And they are lifelong best friends. It's implied that they've been through everything in their lives together, and they are getting ready to ship out to World War II to fight for World War II in 6 weeks. After a shift at the bowling alley, the two best friends get up to some shenanigans and go on a little date night. If you can really even call it that, honestly. After this date night, Hopper treats himself to a movie, and he goes up to the ticket counter where he encounters the most beautiful girl he's ever seen, Caddie. Now, Caddie's reading a book. She doesn't really pay any mind to him, just gives him his ticket. He goes inside and cannot stop thinking about Caddie. Inside, he's confronted with more US propaganda material, which, was very common back when they were doing the draft, how it's an honor to fight for your country. But he is immediately smitten with Caddie, and he leaves her a flower to find on the little ticketing counter. So then Hopper meets back up with Nicky at the cafe across the street, and they're hanging out, and Hopper sends a kid to give her another flower. Okay, we're pushing boundaries a little bit, but that's okay. It's okay, it's still kind of cute right now. Caddie gets off her shift and decides that she wants some pie as a treat for hard work and goes over to the cafe. And Hopper, recognizing this as like a golden opportunity to try and get some interaction with Caddie, he hops over the counter and puts on the actual storekeeper's hat, who's asleep on the counter, and he takes Caddie's order, and she's like, I want a slice of pie. He gives her a whole pie. Yeah, it's very obvious he doesn't work there. He gives her a whole pie. She goes to leave with the pie, and he follows her out. She gets on the bus. He hops on the back of that bus to follow her home. Ew! Why is there no good romance representation? Why is all the old 80s movies actually fucking creepy as hell? Valley Girl was good. I'll give it that. But this is weird, and honestly, Valley Girl had some weird parts too. So Hopper follows her all the way home, and he waits till she gets off the bus, and he hops off the back of the bus, and then Nicky pulls up, because Nick has been following along in his car apparently this whole time, which, okay, sure. And then they follow her up to her doorstep, practically. Ew! I would feel so unsafe. I don't know. Oh, I would feel so unsafe. She wasn't moving quick enough for me. She wasn't aware enough of her surroundings for me, personally. Hello? How could you not hear two men behind you, sweetie? Girly pop. The next day, Hopper is looking at the planes, he's watching planes with the little binoculars that they have out, and he then gets the bright idea, use those binoculars to spy on Caddie getting off the bus and seeing where she goes. And then you know what he does? He goes there too. Okay, but creepy. It's creepy. Oh my god, and I can't get the image of him in the bus scene out of my head, his beady eyes just coming through the bus window. That is a horror film. Run, sweetie. Oh my god. But he goes in and he tries to chat her up in the library, and she seems very disinterested, and he, keeps trying to talk with her, keeps trying to chat her up and everything, and ends up knocking over a bookshelf, just creating more work that she will have to do. And she's like, just leave, dude. It's essentially what she says, and he does. And later that day, Caddie and her friend are chilling in the cafe across the street from the movie theater, and Caddie knows that her best friend is trying to set her up with her cousin. Okay. And so she says yes to the date, and her best friend's like, well, you need to invite somebody for me. And she is like looking around. She sees the guy from the library. So she calls him over and introduces herself and asks him out for her best friend, which he agrees to. And honestly, I think this is a little bit of a dick move on Caddie's part. I won't even lie to you. She's like, oh, both of these are actually for me. Like your best friend is like legitimately trying to set you up, and you're just like, how can I get somebody else as well? I'm not saying she has to be into the cousin or anything, but I just feel like a double date is not the time to try to set yourself up two ways. Am I crazy? I don't know. I might be crazy. But this plan seems to work because Caddie and Hopper end up, having some alone time, and they get to know each other, and Hopper asks her out. She says yes. And he takes her to the most romantic place in the world. A burnt down, abandoned, dilapidated bar. Wonderful. And to the cherry on top, he has a nasty, musty bed in there. Yay! Yay! Yeah, no. I'm sorry, but if you follow me home and I, for some unknown reason, still agree to go out with you, and you take me to a secluded area, I'm running. I'm so fucking out of there. But whatever, they end up playing piano together. It's cute or whatever. They meet up the next day and go skinny dipping and, so to say. After all of this, Hopper's having the time of his life, and he, meets up with Nicky, and they're talking together about the war, and Nick's character is very into killing Japanese people in this movie. I did not like that. I also did not like his womanizing, groping tendencies. No thank you, Nick. No thank you. But they're wandering around the city drunk, and Nick decides that he needs to get a bald eagle tattoo right across his chest. So that way when the Japanese see him coming over the hill, they will know the power of America. And I just think that's really odd. Like, are you going into battle shirtless, Nick? Is that like the envisioning? You're gonna come over the hill shirtless in battle? Shirtless people don't usually last very long in battle, Nick. Anyway, the tattoo artist totally refuses to do the tattoo for them and sends them packing. He's like, I'm not gonna do this tattoo for you. You don't have the money for me to do this tattoo for you. It's not happening. Get the fuck out of my shop. And honestly, kudos to that guy, because fuck yeah, we need more of that, actually. We need more of that. The boys decide to kick stones around the train tracks, just like kids do. And the train starts to come, and they're like, oh my God, we used to do this all the time when we were kids, like one time for the one time, and the train comes, and they jump out of the way and run next to the train, and then they hop onto the side of it, climbing their way up, and then they jump off. And I'm like, okay, is this what kids used to do? Was this what we did for fun when we didn't have video games? This is interesting. I never did this as a kid, and I was outside all of the time. And so after they, pull this stunt, Nick has a serious conversation with Hopper, and he tells him that his girlfriend is late. Her period is late, and she's gonna need an abortion, and they're about 150 USD, which is about $3,000 in today's USD. That he can't come up with it by himself. He needs Hopper's help to come up with this money. And Hopper agrees because he's such a good friend. He really is a great friend to Nicky. And I don't really like either of these boys, but they're very good friends for each other, and they always show up for each other. The next day, they are preparing the kids for war! Yay! With fun drills! Because war is so fun, Oh, God, I love war. Don't you love war? So they have the men as injured and dead soldiers laying on the ground, such the cutest thing. And all of the girls are dressed up as nurses and administering first aid or marking the bodies as dead and deceased. So fun. What a fun, cool kids game. Great. It makes me so sad. I'm sorry, but children going to war for a country that doesn't care about them is sad. And it will never not be sad to me. Take it up with the courts. But Hopper, covered in blood, puts a little extra in his mouth so he can go prank his girlfriend, and he bumps into her and he goes bleh, and like all the blood comes out and comes down his shirt, and she is terrified. She is horrified at what she's seeing, rightfully so. And so she's like, you want to see something really funny? Go get cleaned up. And so he does. He goes and he gets cleaned up, and they go to the hospital because she's been bringing books to the soldiers so they have something to read in their downtimes to help get their mind off of the absolutely horrific and tragic events that have fallen upon them. And and this, I mean, is such a like come to Jesus moment for Hopper. What I mean should have been, it seems like he interpreted this as like a personal attack, like, which is kind of silly. He gets really upset that she did this. But for a moment, he's talking with one of the soldiers, and that moment actually sent me, like, I was bawling tears. I was so fucking sad. Hopper completely freaks out, is very upset that Caddie put him through this and like whatever, and you know, is just in general a dick. And then they go, he has to leave because he has to go to his shift at the bowling alley billiards room thing. And this, honestly, we get a really good scene here of Nick dancing around. He's singing Tangerine, and if you're gonna watch this movie for any reason, I would watch it for that one. It's also incredibly, honestly, like a pretty good piece on war and how it affects children. So I recommend watching it for that, but we'll get into my thoughts on the movie later. But the scene of him dancing is just so chef's kiss. I'm sure it's just been playing on repeat right here. Ugh, so good. At this point, Nicky and Hopper are desperate for the money. They know that they're not gonna get it any other way. They go to the billiards hall, not the one that they work at, and try to hustle Navy men. This does not go well for them at all. This is not, I mean, as you probably can know and tell by children trying to hustle adults, but it doesn't work. They barely escape without getting absolutely beat up. I mean, it is so down to the wire, and they do escape, and it's Hopper's birthday, so they go back to Hopper's house, and they're trying to get this money, right? They're still trying to get this money. They're still out money. And so Hopper turns to his rich girlfriend for the money, and he's like, Nicky really needs this money. He got his girl pregnant. We can't just have her pregnant when we leave, you know, and like that would ruin her life. And she's like, okay, I'll figure it out. And so this is when it's revealed to us that she is not rich. Actually, the maid that we saw at the beginning of the movie was her mom, which we didn't really talk about here. Yes. Which we didn't really talk about because there really wasn't a need to, but yeah, it's revealed that her mom is obviously not rich, and thus she is not rich, so Hopper having this idea that she's rich really rubs her the wrong way. So, but she also really doesn't want to let down Hopper because we live in a male-centric society. So she tries to get this money the only way that she can think of, which is stealing from the woman that the mother works for, her mother works for. The woman comes in and she's like, what are you doing? And she explains. She completely comes clean, is like, I was gonna steal this necklace from you because my boyfriend's best friend's girlfriend is pregnant and we really need the money to get her an abortion. So the woman loans the money to Caddie in an act of pure generosity, honestly. And they go through with the procedure. Nicky, Hopper, the girlfriend, and Caddie all hop into the vehicle and they go to the abortion clinic. Nicky does not go in there with her, which I think is like really important. It's like a really important thing to know, which is like really shitty to me. I feel like he should have been there. He should have been there, but he's totally not the type of guy that would do that. But instead, Caddie does run in to join her so she's not all alone in her time of need. And I think that's really sweet. I just love to see like girls standing up for each other, but it totally should have been Nicky in that room. Just saying. Anyways, Nicky and his girlfriend obviously break up, and Hopper and Caddie do break up for a brief moment, but everything is quickly resolved because the boys are shipping out. They are at the train tracks, they're saying goodbye to Hopper's parents. Nicky has no one that shows up for him, but Hopper says goodbye to his parents and to Caddie, who gives him a photo of her so that way when he's overseas, he will still remember her. And I just think, again, so sad. These are children. These are children. These are children. These are children. So the train finally starts to pull away, and the parents are like, oh my God, you're gonna miss your train. And Hopper and Nicky look at each other and they're like, one last time. And they run after the train and hop on, and the credits roll. And that's where we leave off. I mean, they go off. Do they make it back? Do they not? I mean, looking at percentages, probably not, but we can only hope for the best for our boys. I did not like them as people. They just weren't good people. They didn't have good morals. They didn't treat people nicely. I mean, Hopper gets physical with his girlfriend more than once over like minor disagreements, and I just think that is like really toxic. I think Nick's whole character is just like a toxic fruit roll-up. With toxic shoved inside. It's crazy. But overall, I would give this movie a 3. I think a 3 is fair. It's a very medium movie. If it takes 45 minutes for me to think your movie is getting good, probably not the best film. You know what I mean? But it's good. It's good. It's got a lot of good themes. You know, I actually felt for the characters. I actually cried. You know, I was able to feel for the characters and their situation and the emotions. Like, all of that was being conveyed. So I really appreciate that. But I just feel like the emphasis on the relationship was like the whole first half of the movie, and then the whole second half of the movie was, I don't know, it was more on the emphasis of the actual themes of the movie of like children going to war and how that's ridiculous and sad. So again, medium. It's halfway there. For Nick's rating for his performance and for his character and everything is going to be a 3, the lowest rating yet, which, give me a moment, it's just purely because of how many times he uses a slur for Japanese people. I don't think I need another reason for that. I don't really like that he did that so often. I also don't like the fact that he was like groping people. It seems like that was part of like the director's thing, but I also don't know if that was just like, hey, like, wouldn't it be funny if, and it's like, it's just not funny. Honestly, the sadness in the second half of the film is very palpable. It's just the first half of the film that just feels so, it feels so disconnected from the second half of the film. It just feels like two different zones. Like, as soon as the second act hits, oh my God, it's so good. But the whole first half is just like not there for me. I did like the detail of the victory gardens though. Oh my gosh, I really like that world building aspect. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this Thursday. So sorry about the Wednesday upload. We should be back on track from here on out, so there should be no more interruptions in the near future, so be looking forward to that. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to like and subscribe. Next week we are talking about Birdie, made in 1984. That's starring Matthew Modine and Nicolas Cage, obviously our boy. And make sure to follow me on social medias and join the Discords for watch parties and more, and follow me on Letterboxd so you can stay up to date on my reviews and how far I am into the list. There's 120 movies on this list right now, and he's still making more. So if you want to join in on the watch party, you can always like watch the movie and then watch this video, and we can like talk about it together. Yes. Anyways, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. What did you think of this movie? Would you watch this movie? Have you watched this movie? And what did you think? Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging around, and I'll see you next time. Bye!